Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. So I sent out the link. I got to talk to her again, and let's see if this round two, if we can get her on. Um, so I guess she had an emergency earlier with her baby, so I understand that. Um, let's see. Good news is that the laptop is working a lot better. If I don't hear from her in like 15 minutes, then I'm gonna call. I don't want people just waiting around. And then I'll switch the topic. I know her baby's sick, so I gotta be mindful too. And then I can switch the topic. It's fine. So there's some new news, right, on the shooter. All right, I just got a message. Here she comes. So I'll set it up. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. Let's uh, let's set it up, and then we can go over a timeline. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. My friend said she
All
was
right.
gonna be on here. Sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to join.
Oh, okay. Your friend. Okay. Davina.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just set it up for her, and then whenever she's ready.
Okay, in 45 minutes. I'll log back in.
Oh, she's not ready now.
No, I don't think so. I think she said 45 minutes. Let me message her. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey, Davina, how
Hi.
you doing?
Good. How are
Hey,
you?
good. Good to see you. Thanks for joining this small channel. I appreciate you.
Of course. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Good, good. Just been hiking a lot and just keeping up with like true crime. There's a lot of information coming out with a lot of cases.
Oh, yeah. A lot
That's
of
been
cases.
okay.
Isn't it crazy? Everything going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah. The devil's working overtime.
Big time. Big time.
Mm-hmm. All right, Davina. So we'll just jump right into it and we'll set the scene up. I'm not sure how much time you got, and so I want to set the scene up, and I want to have you kind of go over like the first hearing because I know the first hearing was pretty quick. So I want to go
Hmm.
with that, and then the second hearing, and then we'll go into your visit. Is that
Of
okay?
course. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How long are you looking to have me on here? It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Yeah. So usually I'm on here for an hour, but it just
Okay.
depends on just if we cover it quick, if we got all our bases covered, if it just all
Right.
depends. But usually it goes pretty fast, and I try not to rush my guest, or it's at your pace. Um,
Yes, of course.
mm-hmm. But that's the timeline I
Absolutely.
kind of want to go over. Is I want to set the scene for the first hearing. Um, well, first, like the first hearing, the second hearing, and then your visit, and then before all that, if you want to say who you are and your channel and things like that, then we'll go from there.
Of course. So my name is Davina Ortiz. I am a TikTok creator, and I do reporting on true crime as well. I do have two TikToks. My main page though is Davina Ortiz, like together, Davina Ortiz.
Hmm. Okay, we'll drop your link in there so people can check you out and check out, follow you and follow with true crime. We were checking
Of
out your
course,
videos earlier. Mm-hmm. We were checking out your videos earlier, so we got to see a little bit a glimpse of your channel. So that was pretty cool.
of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry I left
So
you
set the
hanging
scene.
earlier.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. Stuff happens. I know that happens, and
I was like,
my
oh my
chat. Uh
gosh,
huh.
I
Yeah,
swear.
stuff happens. My chat was being real cool about it, real understanding. So don't worry about it. It happens. But I'm glad you're
Good.
here, and I appreciate your time coming on here.
I've never been on live on this before.
Yeah, this is it's like it's what is that? There's another one. I forget the name of it, but this one's Restream. It's a lot. It's more economical price. Restream, and it's pretty cool. It's really nice. It's just simple. Just record and go. And
Wow.
there's another one. It's called like StreamYards. That's what it is. But this one, you can like say I had a TikTok account, and say I had an X account, and say I had all those other social media accounts. I can broadcast on all of them simultaneously.
Oh wow, that's great.
Hmm.
Wow. So is this like connected to your YouTube too?
Yeah, this is being uploaded to YouTube, and we're live right now, and so this all goes onto
Wow.
YouTube.
That is so
Yeah, so
cool.
this is goes to YouTube as they have their own like live thing, but it's not. You can't bring up articles, you can't bring up video, you can't bring. I mean, you can bring I think one guest on, but it's just not as user
Mm.
friendly as this is. But this one's
Right,
really good.
right.
It's Restream. Hmm. But if you want to check it out, I can send you like a code, and it's pretty cool. Like you get like 20% off or something for the first month. It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so set the scene up if you want for your first day in court. I know we met each other over there, and we had some. We had like, well, you did have an incident with like the deputy, so we can go over that the second when you go over
Ay,
for
ay,
the
ay.
second one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know.
if you
It's
want to, if you want to.
oh yeah, I don't mind. It's pretty out there already.
Yeah. But yeah, set the scene up for your first visit for the trial. Let the people know what your experience was for the first one, for the first hearing. I know it was quick.
Yeah, well, okay, so I got there at I wasn't even gonna go to this court date.
Hmm.
However, I'm going to get into my car right now. I'm gonna be sitting in my car. Um so I got there like at 10:30. The reason why I got there at 10:30 was because I wasn't gonna go, and then I kept hearing like from other reporters on TikTok and social media that sorry, I'm looking for my key. Um, that they're gonna wait till later to file charges. They haven't filed charges yet, and I was hearing that the judge wanted to release them because there wasn't enough evidence. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go now," you know. I was like, "Well, I live like 6, 7 minutes away. I'm not doing anything. Let me just go." So I went. I went on live. Oh my goodness! When I tell you, like, I didn't expect the chaos
Hmm.
like how it was. You know what I mean? I really did not. I didn't even expect to be there as long as I was there, you know. But anyway, so I didn't even know I could get into the courtroom, Mark. Like I had no idea. So, okay. So I get there. It's like 11:30. Then I got the ABC 7 notification on my phone as I was live
Hmm.
on my platform, and it said charges filed. And I was like, oh my gosh, they filed charges. Okay, good. And then everyone was like, yeah, they're going to call the case at 1:30. And I was like, okay, that's like in another 2 hours, you know? So it was like 1:05. I was like, I'm going to go into the courtroom. I didn't know the public can go until I was told other people were already going in there earlier. So I walk upstairs. I get to the 6th floor, and I get
Hmm.
there to the lobby area where you and I were last time, and there were so many people. So many people. I don't know if you were there. Were you? Yeah, you were there. You were there.
Yeah.
Not upstairs. Were you upstairs?
Yeah, I was upstairs.
Okay, I
But I
didn't.
wasn't. I was there like a little bit before that because I wasn't sure. I mean, it was my first time going into the court.
Mm. So I was like, I'm gonna sit by myself. I was by myself. I didn't know anybody yet, and I didn't even, like I said, expect to go in. There were so many people. So then they're like, okay, they come out. The deputies come out. They read the rules. They're like, hey, we're gonna call you guys in soon. So if you guys want to stand up, it's first come, first serve. So I made my way over there. When they opened the doors to come in, it was like a stampede. It was crazy. Like crazy, crazy. If you were there, you know. Everybody
Hmm.
was pushing each other. It was really bad. So the first group went in, then they were like, no more room, right? And I was like, damn, I didn't make it. They were like, all right, the rest of you guys have a seat. Something told me just stay standing right there. Next thing you know, another deputy was like, okay, 3 more people. So he called on 3 more people. I was one of them. I got in, thank goodness. And when I sat down to the left. There's like a right and a left side. I sat down to the left, and Rebecca was on my right hand side, in the blue, as most people seen those
Hmm.
pictures. And then Mark was sitting on the left side in the rows where I was sitting. He was only 3 rows ahead of me. Like, not that far. It was really weird how close, we were able to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I was there. It was very fast. You know how fast it went. It was like, I want to say maybe 8 minutes or less. I mean, it was so quick. It happened really quick. They literally changed the date. It was their first arraignment. They changed the date to, I forgot the date of the last court date, but they changed it. I think it was a week or two away, and that was pretty much it. It went so quick. And then of course, Mr. Ahmed, um, he said hola to Rebecca as Rebecca started walking back.
Mm-hmm.
The deputy said walking, and then there's Ahmed, and he was like hola, and he got detained for a minute. So that happened right before we all like exited the courtroom.
Wow.
The first court date inside the courtroom.
Mm. Oh, so he said that as she was walking out or back into
Yeah,
whatever that room there was. So Jake was
yeah,
to the left, same thing as the second hearing. He was to the left,
uh-huh,
and then Rebecca was on the right
yep,
for the first hearing. Was he wearing red
yes,
in the
the
first
first
hearing?
hearing.
He was. Okay.
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you saw him? When you saw the courtroom? When you saw the judge? When you're hearing everybody? What was your first impression?
My first impression was, whoa, I can't believe I'm this close to these people. You know, um, my heart was pounding. Like I said, I did not expect to be going in there. I drove to the courthouse not expecting that. So it was a big shocker to me, and it all happened so quick. And I got in and I sat down, and I'm looking at Rebecca, and I'm just staring at her because it's easier for me to see her face because, like I said, I'm in the same row of Jake, and I'm just seeing Jake's head. I can just see the back of his head.
Mm,
Rebecca, because she's to the right of me, I'm able to see her face, the side of her face. So it was a lot easier to just stare at her because I can see more and more facial expressions on Rebecca. So I stayed just glued on her, seeing if I'm going to see tears, seeing if I'm going to see any facial expressions, if she looks back at anyone, if she tries to look at Jake, anything. And she was very plain, very, very plain. There was a couple times her eyes moved quickly to like Jake's area and then moved quickly back. I feel like she was maybe trying to like almost get like an answer from him, almost like is he
mm.
looking my way? Is he looking my way? No. And he was not looking her way at all. At all.
Wow. Was he just looking straight ahead to the judge, or what
Yes,
was?
straight ahead to the judge.
Wow.
Yes. The entire time, like entire time. Even other people that were looking more at him than Rebecca, like told me the same thing. I was like, damn.
Mm. So when you were in there on the first hearing, I know it was quick, and you're hearing the judge, and you're seeing everybody. You're seeing Rebecca. You're seeing Jake. Was there one lawyer for both of them, representing them both? And how did that look, or how did that feel, or how did that? Yeah, how was that?
Yes, and it was a public defender representing both of them. I guess his lawyer, Jake's lawyer, Vince Hughes, fired him, or they fired him, or he let Jake go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but he did have a public defender, and so did Rebecca. It was the same guy. He said, I'm representing the both of them just for today." And then he came out, did a press conference. I'm sure most of you guys seen that. It was okay. He didn't seem, his personality was very plain and blah. It was like nothing, nothing there. So
Mm,
just an older dude, and he was just like blah. I'm here, blah 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 blah. Let me get this over with. That was it.
mm. Very
Mhm.
matter of fact.
Mhm.
Wow. That's one of the questions everybody had was how was one lawyer representing two people?
You
But it
know
was
what?
only
I
for
know.
that day, right?
It was just for
Go
that
ahead.
day. A lot of people asked me the same thing because I went live and I made videos after that hearing, And a lot of people were like, "No, there's no way. Like you don't know what you're talking about because there's no way a lawyer can represent both." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was just for that very time. Everything happened so quickly. Probably Vince Hughes got dropped on, very quickly right before the court date, and it was like, "Oh shoot, okay, well, here we go." For whatever their reasons were, I'm sure they have their own reasons, but that's how it went for that very hearing.
Hmm. Yeah, that was one of the biggest questions, and that we were getting is like, how is that even possible? But it is possible, as we saw from that hearing, just for that day. So that
Right.
was something new for everybody to learn, that that's possible for that
Yeah, for
hearing.
sure.
Hmm.
Absolutely. It was very weird. Like, whoa, what? Like, that's kind of crazy because you don't see that. You just don't.
Hmm. Do you know if the judge was the same judge that was for the second hearing?
Yep, he surely was.
Okay. Okay. That's another
Hmm.
question that I had was, because it's all new to me, all the legal jargon. You know how much legal language is thrown out there, and that was one
Yes,
of my questions too. It's like if it's the same judge or this or that, but okay, we're seeing that it is. Um, wow, wow.
yes, yes.
Hmm. So in the first hearing, the lawyer wasn't blocking Rebecca or Jake. Where was he standing? Do you remember?
No, he was standing in the middle where all the other like lawyers and DAs stand. So weird.
Mm. Hmm.
You were in the
Wow.
courtroom. Yeah, you were in the courtroom with me the second time, and you seen how Rebecca's attorney was all on top of her, like no one could see her.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, let's
And
go
then,
to the second hearing. Let's go to the second
okay,
hearing. Tell me about your day, and you went there when you got in line, stuff like that. If you want to start from the beginning, just to set the scene.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Okay, so because I got there so late the first time, and people were telling me like how a lot of people were there, and like people obviously were saving spots for other people, and it was just chaotic. So everyone was telling me, some of the girls I met on TikTok after the first hearing, they were like, "Yeah, the next hearing definitely be there early." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be there super early." Um, excuse me. The night prior, I just couldn't sleep. Like I just couldn't sleep. I guess I was so nervous about the hearing, and I knew I had to wake up early, and I didn't want to miss my alarm, so I just couldn't sleep. I ended up going to sleep at 2:30 in the morning and waking up at 4:15 in the morning. I got an hour and some change of sleep that night. I was never so tired in my
Wow.
life. Yeah, I was
Wow.
so tired, Mark. I was like my eyes were bloodshot red that day after court. Like it was rough, but I woke up at 4:15 because I knew I wanted to leave around 5:15 to be there around 5:30. I thought it was gonna be worse. I thought it was gonna be a lot of people there, and there wasn't. That's why.
Hmm.
I was literally being told all these things. People are gonna be camping out in their cars. I was hearing false stuff. People said they drove by late at night, the night prior, and that they seen people in their cars. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many people. Let me show up super early." So I woke up. My husband was supposed to take me because he was supposed to go and take my son to school, so he needed the car. But because he was really sick, in the morning, he wasn't able to, and
Hmm.
he still needed the car. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to Uber there." So it's only like 8 minutes, 7 minutes away. So I got my Uber. My Uber brought me there, and it was very dark still. It was still very dark. And he's pulling up, right? And I'm like looking around and I'm like, what the heck? And he's like, I don't think the courthouse is open, hun. He was an older gentleman. He goes, "Where do you want me to drop you off?" I go, and I was like so scared. I was like, I just seen them. I seen a guy, and you could tell he lives out there on the streets, and he had like a big garbage bag with him. And I'm not judging people that live on the streets, but I don't know what anyone's capable of, especially in the dark with me being alone and being a woman. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, this is so scary. I'm gonna go walk somewhere. Walk somewhere where there's more light or something. So I get out of the car, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Davina, Davina," and I'm like, "Who the heck?" And I turn around, and it's a friend that I met on TikTok, and her name's Desiree, and she was sitting in her car. She was there. I don't know. She said she got there like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, wow, and it was like 5:50 when I got there. So she's like, come sit in my car, So I was like, thank goodness, thank God that I had that
Oh,
because
that's awesome.
I was really scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then so I sat in her car, no one was at the court doors yet at all. Nobody was there. I heard LA Glizzy, he was there. He was in his van, I guess, or RV, sleeping in there all night. So he was technically the first person at the building. He just wasn't at the doors, early.
Who was that you were saying?
His name's LA Glizzy. He's a pretty big TikTok creator.
Mm.
He's also a
And
reporter on crime.
okay. Let me back up a little bit, and that's one of the things I was hearing too. That there was a lot of rumors. Where was the rumors about? Was it on TikTok that you were hearing all that about? There was going to be a line. People are camping, stuff like that on
TikTok. Oh
TikTok.
yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Big time. Big time. Big
Gotcha.
time.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
so he's another TikTok creator. He was there. He was sleeping in his van.
yes, he was even on live
Mm,
the night prior, and he was even like, "Yeah, I'm here in my car or in my RV."
mm, hmm And Desiree was the one that told you to come hang out with her.
Yeah, she's the one. If you remember, she was sitting to the right of me. She had her press pass.
Oh right, yeah, she's nice. She's sweet. All of them. Everybody there was sweet. Everywhere that it
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah,
The TikTokers, really cool people, real nice stuff like
yep,
that.
yep.
So,
I know. I agree. It was really nice to have like our little team right there. We all like had each other's
hmm
back. It was really nice. It was really nice.
hmm okay, yeah. Go ahead and continue what you were saying about you were
Oh yeah.
in line. Hmm
So then the sun is starting to come out, and I seen you walk by our car, and you were the very first one in line, and I was like, dang, people are out. So we were trying to determine, who are you? I was like,
hmm
I think he's here for himself. I was like, I don't think he's someone here for the case. I think he's here by, for his own thing. And Desiree goes,
Right.
no girl. She's like, no girl, he's here way too early. She's like,
Right.
yeah, no, she's like, he's here way too early to be here for his own case. She's like, he's here for the case, I promise you. And I was like, I don't know. And of course, sure as hell, you were. So I seen you, and then I seen Ashley. She's the girl with the red hair that was right after you. She started going in
hmm
line with you. And then I seen another older lady that went in line, and I told Desiree, okay, it's time, we gotta go. I also heard a rumor before that night prior that there was only going to be one row allowed in. So that's another reason why I was like, oh shoot, I got to show up early, because if they only allow one row to the public, that's only like about 8 people in one row they're going
Mm.
to let in. So I was even more like, oh shoot. So when I seen the third person go in line with you guys, I was like, all
hmm
right, Desiree, it's time to go. So yeah, so we go. I get in line. I did have open toe sandals, and thank goodness for Ashley, the girl with the red in her hair, because I was about to not be able to get in the courtroom. I had my sandals. I had thought I brought my heels, but I did not. And she goes, "Hey, they're not gonna let you in with your open toe sandals." She goes, "I do have extra Crocs in my car if you want them." So I was like, "Let me take you up on that offer." Thank goodness, because they're very strict with dress code, very strict. So 7:30 rolls around. The line is huge, as you remember, Mark. The line was so long. It was all the way down to the street. The line was at 7:30. So then I go to we get in. I was
hmm
on live. Yes, I was still on live. Yes, I was on live. As you know, my whole situation. So I was on live, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to go live in the courtroom. Like, I'm just going to be live on my phone in my purse. I'm not going to be showing anything. So we get in, me, you, and Ashley and Desiree get up to the 6th floor, and we sit there. As you know, we're sitting there for a while, and I was still on live. No one knew. And then you told me time kept going by. 8:30 rolled around, 9 o'clock, and then I remember, I think it was like clock 9:05, and you were like, "Hey, you told me something about 10:30," and I was like, "Let me get confirmation from this deputy, and then I'm gonna go outside and take a break."
Mm-hmm.
And we did. The cop came out, read the rules, and then he, I asked him about the 10:30. He said yes, they're going to be calling the case at 10:30, but we're going to get you guys in about 10 minutes prior. So I was like, cool. I have about an hour because it was like 9:10 at this point. So it's like, I'm going to say I have about an hour to go get some coffee across the street and go outside and take a little break. So I did. And I'm outside doing my thing, as you know, and all of a sudden here comes Mark. All of a sudden I'm on my live and I hear Davina. I hear Davina. And I'm like, what the heck? What? The deputy's looking for you. I'm like, oh, well, that does not sound good. That cannot be a good thing, because if a deputy's looking for me, I don't think that's very good. Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is there any way that you can tell me where someone can watch this live right now?
Yeah. Let me see. Um, Let's see. 1 second. I'll send you the link. Okay, I'm gonna send it to in the messages where we were communicating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I sent it. Yeah, there.
Perfect. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks again. Thanks again for joining me, Davina. I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you coming here and sharing your experience with
Absolutely.
this. In the end, in the beginning, this is all about baby Manuelito justice, and I'm really happy that we are able to have this conversation. So again, thank you for joining us and sharing your experience. Oh, I think you froze. Yeah, I think you might have froze. Maybe coming in and out of the live, but let me see if I can troubleshoot on my end. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. Just hang tight, everybody. Appreciate everybody. Hit the like, sub, share, and again, this is for justice for baby and Manuelito, and I'm glad we're having a conversation. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so
There we
much in
go.
chat. Yeah, thank you so much in chat for being respectful, being cool, being chill, and for welcoming my guest Davina from TikTok. We'll drop her link so you guys can check her out and follow her because she's also covering the case. Again, thank you, chat, for being respectful, being cool, being chill. We're being adults and we're having a conversation. So thank you, chat. Really appreciate it.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't know I could see your chat as well. Now I can see it. That's awesome.
Mm.
I, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I just figured that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
everybody's
sorry
being
about
cool.
that.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So okay, so we're in there. I'm outside, and you're like, Davina, the deputy's looking for you, and I'm like, shoot, and you're like, yeah, no, he knows you're on live. Like, you're on live, and you're like, are you on live? Were you on live? And I was like, yeah, but I was in my phone. And I turned it off after the deputy came out and read the rules and the regulations and rules. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
shoot. You can't record anywhere. You can't be on live anywhere. So I'm like, you know what? I got to face this deputy, right? Because like I can't hide out. Like I don't want to. I don't want to hide. I want to go in the court still. So
Mm-hmm.
of course, yeah. So I get inside. I walk up and I'm like, my heart's pounding because now you told me, and Desiree also texted me, I seen as I'm walking in the court saying he's showing your phone, his phone of your TikTok to everybody in the lobby.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Murder by Nature, the
Mm-hmm.
deputy said, she said the deputy thought she was me. And he made her ID herself to make sure it wasn't me. He had my entire
Oh
TikTok.
wow.
Yeah, he had my entire TikTok on his cell phone, and he had my name, he had everything, my picture. And so I was like, all right, let me go handle this, and I'm not going to lie about it. He clearly knows the truth. So I was like, all right. So I get off the 6th floor, I walk out, and I feel like everybody were just staring at me. Everybody and the 2 deputies, including the one that was looking for me. And so I kind of acted like dumb, I kind of was like, I'm gonna play this off, like, whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I sit down with Ashley and I'm like, hey girl, I just did an interview with Channel 5 outside. And all of a sudden I hear, ma'am. And I'm like, oh, you talking to me? And he's like, yeah. He's like, come with me. And I'm like, okay. So I come, I'm drinking my little coffee, I follow him to the little room. There's a little room when you open up the first set of court doors, there's like a little other room with other doors that
Mm.
attorneys usually
Yeah.
take you or talk with you in. So he takes me in a room, shuts the door, and I wanted to start the conversation. So I go, I just would like, I said, I would like to start off by saying, I'm sorry. I know why I'm here. I said, when I sat down, I first want to say, I did make a video in the bathroom and I did post that on my TikTok. I didn't think it was a big deal. I was in the bathroom stall. I go, and I also was on live, but it was before you read the rules and it was in my phone. I wasn't showing my phone to anybody, nothing like that. As soon as you came out and read your rules, I turned it off. And he was like, okay, okay. He goes, no problem. And I was breathing all heavily, he was like, calm down, relax. Like, he was so awesome. He was so cool, so chill. And as you know, I had my baby Emmanuel shirt on the front. It was a beautiful picture
Mm-hmm.
of him. It had his name on the back. It had Emmanuel's Law on it. And so I had that shirt on as well. He goes, when you first walk in the courtroom where the metal detector is, there's a sign. It's very small, but there's a sign and it says there's absolutely no videotaping, no recording, no going live streaming, nothing in the courthouse whatsoever. He goes, I'm assuming you didn't see that. He goes, so I'm not going to be mad because you didn't see it, because most people don't. It's very small. He goes, but do me a favor and just don't do it again. I go, no problem. I go, you can have my phones if you want. He laughed. He goes, I don't want your phones, honey. He was so nice. I go, he was Corporal something. I forgot his name, but he was awesome. And he goes, also, I talked to the judge. And when he said this, I was like, why would you talk to the judge? Why would you tell the judge about this? Oh my gosh. He goes, I talked to the judge about your shirt and we want to be fair to everybody. So it looks like you're going to be able to come in with with your baby shirt on. And I was like thinking in my
Mm.
head, I was thinking, first of all, I'm thinking, you're still going to let me go in the courtroom? Like, I'm not even I'm so thankful I can go inside with the shirt. Thank goodness. I'm so happy. But honestly, I didn't know if he would even let me back, go in the room anymore because of that. But he did. So I go back out to the lobby. Everybody's waiting to hear what happened. I walked out with a smile. Everyone's very confused, like, what the heck? You didn't get arrested? Because yeah, they were very confused. So
Mm-hmm.
um everyone's like, what happened? What happened? What happened? And I'm like, he was very cool. I explained to everybody, like, what happened. So that was that. I think it was like 10:45 rolls around. Finally, they call us in, right? And thank goodness for you, Mark, because there was a new deputy that tried to have people line up on the opposite direction where we were, and people were trying to cut us again. And you were like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, no, 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 no. We're not doing that. The other deputy said right here. So thank goodness that the deputy was cool and said, okay, let's go back to where you guys were. And then we got in. I'm not sure where you ended up sitting. Were you sitting in the same row with me, Mark? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was sitting right next to Ashley,
Okay.
and then it was you. Were you sitting to the
Yeah.
left or right of Ashley? Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So it was me, Ashley, and then you.
That's right. Because it was you, her, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was third in line. Okay, got it. Because that's right. Because Desiree was sitting with the press. Okay.
Oh, she got seated with the press.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. She had to go in with their group. Um.
Mm.
So then I'm there. Rebecca is again to the right, and Jake again is the same exact spot to the left in the same row. Again, I'm sitting to the left rows, because there's the right rows and then there's the left. And some of the public were sitting on the right side, but I again sat on the left side. So again, my look, because I can see Rebecca a lot easier than I can see Jake's back of his head. So, and the news and everybody's right behind Jake, so I can barely see a tiny little piece of Jake's back of his head anyway. So I'm looking at Rebecca, her lovely lawyer, and I'm sure he was doing this on purpose. Even Channel 5 News was irritated. I was in the elevator
Mm-hmm.
with the news channel on the way back down after court. They were so mad. They were so mad they couldn't get a good shot of Rebecca. I was mad. I seen her face, but like I barely seen her face. People that were sitting on the right-hand side couldn't see at all because of the angle they were sitting at.
Mm.
So, anyway, it looked to me, and I said this when I was live too, that I seen a tear come down the one half of her face that I was able to see. It did look that to me. I did talk about it to some other people. Other people said they did not see that. So I may be crazy, but I may seen something. I don't know for certain. But she looked like she had a little bit more emotion this hearing than the first one. She was making, and I'm sure if you look at some of the videos that the news, took in there, she was making some facial expressions and some weird faces. Really weird. I can't even describe them. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, her attorney was blocking her, most of her. So you couldn't see anything, mostly. Um, it was really weird. Anyway, they did their arraignment, and they pled not guilty, as you know, and they moved prelim to the 17th. The 17th, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Yeah,
also
the
fast.
16th. The 16th is the felony settlement conference, and then, yeah, like you were saying, the 17th is the first preliminary hearing. Let me ask you this, because I want to set the timeline and the scene for for when you went to go visit. When the first hearing to the second hearing, what was the comparison that you saw from or I mean both, Jake and Rebecca, from the first hearing you went to the second one?
Like, as in, the same thing, similar,
Like
similar.
appearance, like how they looked, how they acted. I know you said
Mm,
Rebecca, she might have been crying. I did see a residual when I was thinking about it. I did, because you did point to uh, your eye, and you went down your cheek to symbolize a teardrop, and so
mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting too. So what? Yeah. So what I'm asking is, um, what was what? How did you compare Jake on the first hearing and Rebecca to how they looked, acted, your feelings to the second hearing, the comparison?
Jake himself, from the first to the second, I mean, the same exact everything. Exact everything.
Mm,
Exact everything, everything, everything. However, the second hearing, he talked a little bit more to the judge. The first hearing, it was mostly the public defender. This one, I heard his voice a little bit more. It was, yes, Your Honor. I believe it was 2 times. It could be 3, but I believe it was
mm-hmm.
twice that I heard him say that. And it's just weird to hear his voice, but the same demeanor. Nothing, not a look to Rebecca, nothing, just the same. Rebecca, he didn't look at her either hearing. He didn't look at her the first hearing. He didn't look at her the second one. Rebecca, she looked like she lost weight the second hearing. Her hair even looked like a different color. Some people were even saying on TikTok, how did she dye her hair in jail? Her hair was not that dark her first hearing, which did look accurate, but I just don't think there's any way that you can dye your hair in gel. I think that maybe it washed out or just a different style. I don't know. But I don't think she
Mm.
dyed her hair in gel. That's just my personal opinion. But she did look like she lost weight. She's probably not eating very much, I would assume. Could be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. She does look like she lost weight, and her hair color.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't able to see too much. I personally couldn't see from where I was sitting, but I was told that she was wearing red bottoms, red pants, and a light blue shirt. The second hearing.
Mm. Red pants and blue shirt, which we found out that she was in protective custody, as well as
Yes,
Jake.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and people were saying that some people think they know what they're talking about, but not everybody knows. Even I don't know what colors mean in Riverside County. So
Mm.
you know, I did time in the like 10 years plus ago in San Bernardino County, but Riverside County, I don't know what the colors mean. So some people were saying, "Oh, she's in General Pop because she's wearing light blue." There's no way she's in General Pop. There's no way.
Mm-mm.
And then also, I was gonna say the first hearing, I seen a little bit of her black eye still. It was still showing on the first hearing. Not like crazy, but there was a little bit of light bruising still. The second hearing, I didn't see it. I
Mm.
didn't see nothing. And then people were like, "Oh, well, she got jumped because there was another rumor that she
Mm-hmm.
got jumped
Mm-hmm.
in jail and because she was in general population." And everyone was like, "Yeah, we're going to see her all messed up at the second hearing." No, she was not messed up. There was no bruises, there was no welts, there was nothing, no black eyes.
Mm. So Jake was still the same stoic, no emotion, face
No.
forward. And then Rebecca, for the second hearing, your experience was that she lost weight. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she looked like she has more emotions the second hearing, for sure. For sure. Like later on when you're not busy, like go and watch the little video that the news made and you'll see like I can't describe it because it's weird, but like her facial expressions. She did like these really weird facial expressions with her mouth and her lips and her jaw. Just
Hmm.
weird. I didn't really see that the first hearing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I wish I was in the first hearing so I can compare it. So I'm really appreciative that you're giving us that insight of the first hearing to the second one. When I saw her, Rebecca, yeah, she looked nothing like what it was in the news, in the media, in pictures. When you're
Yeah.
there, in our experience, it's from my experience as well, it's completely different. It's a
Uh-huh.
different world. Hmm.
It,
That
it
was
is.
one of the biggest takeaways. And she was, you're right. She looked like the facial expressions was like, I described it as God took her soul away and isn't giving it back. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
That's how she looked.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. It's different. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh. At first I didn't even recognize her, Mark, the second hearing. When me and Ashley sat
Mm.
down, I
Hmm.
go, "Where's Rebecca?" She goes, "I don't know." She goes, "Where is she?" And I'm like, "Well, who's that?" And she goes, "I don't know." I go, "Dude, that's Rebecca." Like, no, that's her. And I looked at the attorney, her attorney. I go, "Dude, that's her
Hmm.
attorney. That's Jeff Moore." Like everyone's talking about her new attorney. That's Rebecca. And
Hmm.
we looked again. Like, dude, that is Rebecca. She looks different today. It was weird. It was so weird how different she looked.
Mm. Wow, that's crazy because it's yeah, and it's like going in there, I don't, I went in there without any expectations. I said, let's just go in there and no expectations. And that's why I asked how Jake was too, because when I saw him, he was void of emotion. He didn't look like he had, I described it too as his aura, his energy was void. That's how I felt. It was
Yeah.
dark.
Dark,
And
dark.
I've said
Very.
this. I've never been ever afraid of anybody, any person. I just have never been of people ever. And when I went in there, I was afraid of Jake. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, his energy was just dark, and I
It's
felt that.
strong. Very
Mm-hmm.
dark. It's heavy. It's strong. It's bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very bad.
Yeah, and even if I didn't know his past or anything like that, I went in there with a blank slate, and I
Yes.
would still feel the same way. Wow. Yeah. So that's interesting, and so that's why I wanted to set the scene to that, the first hearing, the second hearing, and they're
Yes.
pretty quick. And so
They're
we're gonna
so
go.
quick.
Yeah, they're quick, and I think that's why people weren't joining in for the second one, because it was gonna be quick. I think.
Exactly. It
I
was
believe.
super quick. And there was not, I mean, you seen the officer, he had so many numbers left in his hand for such a long time. I couldn't believe that there was more seats for the courtroom, the second hearing.
hmm
It
That
wasn't like
reminds
that
me.
for the
Can
first
you?
hearing.
Mm, yeah, it wasn't like that. It was a stampede. They were pushing the deputies. So
Yeah.
that was wild. I mean, wild. And so I'm glad you got in. What I was going to ask you, what did you think about the number system where they had them written down on a cardboard?
Well, they did what they had to do to make it a lot more organized, and I think it was a lot more organized. The first time was chaotic, and I was nervous for that because even me and you and Ashley, Desiree, we talked about it. We were already saying we're putting our foot down. We're not letting no one,
hmm
get in between us. And you had all of our backs. You actually spoke up when people were trying to
hmm
cut and stuff. You were like, no, you got into it with one of the guys. We all had your back. We're like, no, sir, you don't get to just come up here and say, hi, ladies. I mean, I know you guys ended up squashing it and you guys were all cool. We were all cool
hmm
at the end, but
hmm
he at first literally walked up and said, hi, ladies, what are you guys talking about? And sat down right next to Desiree. Like, excuse me, there's a line, sir. Like, what? Oh my goodness. So it was a lot more organized, and I'm so happy that they made that little line thing, that they did, and then they gave us those little numbers. It was on some weird monster cardboard paper, but it's okay. I mean, it worked better.
hmm hmm Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's a line, right? And so, do you remember the girls too? The two cup, the I think it was like a mother daughter. Do you
Mhm.
remember that?
Mhm.
That one too, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I had
Yep.
everybody's back. Everybody had everybody's back. Again, the
Mhm.
TikTokers that were there, they were super nice to me, and I mean, everybody was there for one reason, for justice, for baby Manuelito, and I think it shows. It definitely shows everybody's persona, and that were there early, getting there early, and yeah, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, and we did squash it with the. I did squash it with the guy because I felt bad after I started counting how many seats there were, because we weren't sure, right? We were waiting since the morning. We got there early. We were hungry. I mean, we were cranky. We were cranky, and then the deputies like calling you, like, "Who is this?" And then the rules. I mean, it was a
Oh my
lot.
gosh, dude, I know it was a lot. We were like, "No, we're not having this. We're not having no crap today. Nope, no one's walking on us today. No, no, no."
Care who it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, if Obama walks through that door and tries to cut me, I'm gonna say something. I don't care who it is.
Because You got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, Mark, and you stood there at the door waiting for hours before, and we stood inside the lobby waiting for hours. Like, no, that's not fair. What's
Yeah,
right is right.
and me and that guy, we squashed it too, and that's what I like too. You know, you're like, hey, my bad, I didn't. You know, that was
Yes,
before I knew there was a lot of numbers, and the guy
like an
was real
adult.
cool. Yeah, like an adult, and I thought he was with Desiree. I was like, okay, because he like, you know, people do that trick, like, hey, what's up? You know, that
Yeah,
was funny.
he
That
definitely
was
tried to do
funny.
that. Like, what's up, ladies? What are we talking about? We all looked at each other like, what? Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all good. Like I said, you guys were adults. You guys talked about it, and that's what's important, because a lot of adults
Mm-hmm.
don't and can't do that. Like, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
drama, and unfortunately, I'm getting a lot of backlash myself right now on my own platform, because of the visit I did to Rebecca. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But me and a girl that she's been following me from the beginning, and we've always been very cool. However, we kind of had a misunderstanding, and we had some words exchanged that weren't very nice towards one another, that was probably a little bit disrespectful to both of each other. But like adults, this was not last night, but 2 nights ago. Um, I was on someone's live, and you know how they open up like more windows so like multiple people can go live with them. So she came up also, and we talked about the issue. We both apologized, and we moved on and kept it pushing. And I just wish more adults can do stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. And you know, the chat here has been really
Yes.
really cool. You know, and I set some ground rules and things like that because it does take a little bit of effort, you know, to you know, have a conversation and you know, criticizing is easy. 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 I can do that all day long, but I choose not to.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to waste my time with that kind of stuff. Um and again, it's just you can tell the people's energy that are there. They're there early. They're wearing their baby Emmanuelito shirt. They're going
Mhm.
to the memorial and they're fixing up the stuff. You know, a lot of the stuff they don't show that for the TikTok. They don't show that for the YouTube. You know, they
Yep.
just because they want to do it.
They just
And
do
I
it.
think that's, mm-hmm,
That's it.
mm-hmm. You just do it, and
Yeah.
you know, we take our pictures, we do our videos, and then we turn it off. I mean, we're still there. We're
We're
still,
still there doing what we got to do. Yes, 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 yes. You are 100% right about that. Yes.
mm-hmm. And so I want to always bring that up and say, like, look, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You know, just because you see something, this and that, and you know, it's a lot different.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so yeah,
Yes.
we were saying about your visit, and you're getting a lot of backlash. We'll go into that after you share your experience. If you want to go into that, you know, set the scene again, you know, the day of, the morning, things like that. What you're thinking, what you're feeling up until the visit.
Of course. Absolutely. Okay. So this was the day prior, and in Riverside, California jail. You can only make next day appointments, so you can't call same day. You can only make an appointment. If I call today, I can make an appointment for tomorrow. So I was on my live with my people. We were talking, and they know I've been talking about wanting to visit Rebecca for like maybe 3 days. I was just talking about it, just brainstorming about it, mentioning it. Now it came up again, and someone mentioned in my comments, "Well, when are you gonna call and make a visit?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't have work tomorrow. I think I'll call right now for tomorrow." So I on my other phone, everyone was like, "How about you call out right now on live?" Like, it was not my idea. I would have done it later, but everyone was like, "Call right now." You know how people are. They want to hear it themselves on live right now. It's happening now. So everyone was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah. Do it right now." Okay. So I called, and I got through, and this was Monday at like 9:30 a.m. and this was this week. And so I finally got through. There was a lady that answered. I said I would like to make a visit. What are the requirements? And she goes, "You just need to have a California ID or license, and that's it, and be 18 or over. And I was like, okay. She goes, and we do like a mini background test that takes 10 minutes. I don't know what they do during that 10-minute background test. I have no clue. But that's what she said. So she took my information. She got like a phone number for me, my address, my name, my driver's license number, and then she gave me the times. She said there was like a 9 o'clock appointment. That was the earliest appointment, all the way to 10 p.m., which I thought was like pretty late. She named like probably like 10 different times for Tuesday. And, I gave her Rebecca's name. I gave her Rebecca's booking number because that's what you need, her name, birthday, booking number. And I gave her all of that. Luckily, everyone in my chat had that information already ready for me. So I gave that to her. She goes, okay. I said 9 a.m. because I wanted to. I'm a morning person, preferably. I like to go do my stuff in the morning. So I go 9 a.m. Let's do the first appointment. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, and now I just need to do a quick background check on you. It takes about 10 minutes. It's really quick. I was like, okay. So then she put me on hold for 10 minutes. I was literally thinking, man, there's a chance I might not get approved because, like I said, I did not know what the requirements were on this tiny background check. I don't know. I just know that I have a record from 10 plus years ago. I don't know if that's going to interfere or not. She came back. She goes, okay, you're all good. You're set. Everything is good. And be here at 8:30. Be here 30 minutes earlier tomorrow. And you can't bring anything in. You can only bring your car keys and your driver's license. That's it. Oh, I had and 50 cents for my keys. You have to bring 50 cents to put your keys in a locker. It's crazy. I was like, okay. And then that was it. I hung up. I got back, my life, told them the situation. The next day I woke up, took my son to school at 8:15, rushed over to the jail. I got there like 8:35 cuz you got to park. You know where the jail is. It's right there by the courthouse. So,
Mm-hmm.
you got to park right there and you got to pay the meter. You got to go pay for the meter and all that. That takes a few minutes, and by the time I got there, it was like 8:35. So I walk in, I'm like, "Hi, I'm here for a visit." And he's like, "Okay, it's a little bit too early, but go ahead and have a seat. They're going to start doing check-ins at 8:45." I was like, "Okay." Something told me to go ask if my dress code was okay, and I'm glad I did. So, it was like 8:44. It was like a minute before 8:45, and I was like, I better go ask right now." And I said, "Is my dress code okay? Is my sandals good?" Because I was wearing my open toe sandals. He goes, "Your sandals are good. However, is that a spaghetti strap?" I had something similar what I'm wearing right now, as you guys see. I have a spaghetti strap on, but I also have a sweater over me. And this is exactly something. This is what I had on the day of the jail visit. I had on a spaghetti strap, but I had something over it. And however the cop knew I was wearing a spaghetti strap, I don't know, but he knew. He said, "You can't wear a spaghetti strap." I said, "But I'm covering it with a blazer. Even if I'm covering it," he goes, "even if." I go, "Well, I do have another shirt in my car." He goes, "Okay, go get it." I go, "I'll be real quick." So I ran, I went to my car, changed my shirt, came back, and he started doing check-ins. He goes, there was only two more other people that were together doing a visit, and then me. So he told them, "Okay, you're going to floor 5," and then he told me, "You're going to floor 7." And then there was like an elevator right there, just one elevator that we all got into, me and the other two visitors. And I seen that it only goes up to 7 floors. So I was like, "Okay, I'm going to the last floor." So floor 5 opens, they get out, and I seen like the setting of it. As soon as the elevator opens up, it's a tiny, tiny little area, and it's just three little seats, and there's the visiting windows immediately. So I go, "Oh wow." So then the door closes, get off on the 7th floor, the door opens for 7th floor. I get out, nobody's there yet. It's just me. There's no Rebecca, nothing. There's, like I said, there's 3 seats and 3 visiting windows. There was one to the left, one in the middle, one to the right. Now, the one to the left, you cannot see the inmate elevator. The one in the middle, perfect shot to the inmate elevator. The one on the right also wasn't a good shot. So I'm like, I'm going to sit right here in the middle. So when that elevator opens up, I have a clear shot on whoever's right there. I was sitting there. Now I'm getting nervous. I wasn't nervous before. I wasn't nervous at all. Once I sat down, my heart felt like it was gonna come out of my chest. I was like, breathe, Davina, breathe. It's okay. What are you gonna say to this lady if she comes? Because I know there's a really good chance that I'm not gonna talk to her. But what if? Think of what you're gonna start your conversation with. And I thought, well, she's probably going to assume people are here to backlash her and talk crap. So I'm gonna start with, hey, I'm not here to talk about the case. I'm not here to talk about negativity. I'm not here to bash you. I'm not here for any of that. That way, immediately she knows I'm not there for that. So I'm sitting there, 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, I see the inmate elevator door open, and I'm thinking, and it's slow. Like it started opening slow as shit. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here it comes. Here we go. What is this? Is it going to be Rebecca with Deps, or is it going to be just Deps telling me, hey, sorry? Lo and behold, it opens up, and I see 3 deputies, and I see Rebecca. And you guys, it is like 5 feet, maybe the window from the inmate elevator. It's very close, very close. I thought I was close to her in the court. No, I was very close to her here, even though there was a window in front of us. I mean, a glass in between us. Um, there is a deputy on each side of Rebecca. There was a deputy on her left side of her arm, and there was a deputy on her right side of her arm. She also had shackles on her wrist that were connected to her hands and in front of her stomach. There was also a third deputy that was behind her lingering. And as soon as she looked very eager, okay, to go to this visit. She was wearing all light blue pants, light blue shirt, white t-shirt underneath. She had a French braid that went to the back of her head. Some people were asking me on my platform, how could she have a French braid if she's by herself in a cell? Someone had to do it. That is not necessarily true, because you could do your own French braid. Some people can't, some people can. I've seen people do it. So she had her French braid. She looked very refreshed. She looked very revived. Like I said, I was 5 feet away from her. I seen her entire body and face. She had no bruises, no black eyes, no nothing. She doesn't look like she's been crying. She doesn't look swollen. She doesn't look tired. She looked revived. She looked fresh. She looked like she had just showered. She had just brushed her hair into a French braid back, and she was eager for a visit. Now, when that inmate elevator door opened and she started walking towards the visit window, she looked at me, she looked at the deputy, and she looked at me again. She looked at the deputy again and said, "I don't know who that is." And the deputy looked confused. I don't know why the deputy was as confused as he seemed, but he seemed very confused. He goes, "What?" And she goes, I don't know her. I don't know who that is." And he looked at me and said, "Who are you here for, ma'am?" And I said, "Rebecca." And I said, "Her, Rebecca." And she goes, "I don't know who that is. I don't want to talk to her." And the deputy looked at me and said, "She doesn't want to talk to you, ma'am." And I was like, "Okay." And I got up respectfully and I walked away. I do and I walked back to the elevator, and she walked back, of course, with her deputies, I mean. And I really regret not doing this, but I choked up. I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like I choked up, and I really wish that I would have said something. I feel like, because we are all able to hear each other, I can hear her, the deputies can hear me, I can hear the deputies. So I feel like at that point, I should have said, "Hey, I'm not here to talk about your case. I'm not here for negative, not drama. I'm not here for that. I just want to talk to you." Um, I could have had a little bit of a chance, you guys. She was indecisive of taking this visit. It wasn't a hard no. It was not a, I don't know her. No, no, it wasn't that. It was not that. It was, I don't, I don't know her. I don't, and then she even leaned in like this. She leaned her body in and her head in like this, squinted her eyes at me like, I don't know her. Like, she was indecisive. And I feel like if she knew for certain I'm not here for that, there's a possibility she could have took the visit, you guys. And that was the visit. I left. I walked back down the elevator, and I got in my car and I left. I do have a letter. I finished it today. I didn't mail it out yet, but I am mailing it out in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. When you saw her, and again, that's why I like setting the scene from the first hearing to the second hearing to your visit. Can you do your comparison and how you felt leading up to that? And I know you
From
said
the
she
first
looked refreshed. Mm-hmm.
Yes, from the first visit, so, I mean, from the first hearing, second hearing to the visit?
Yeah, the way she looked, the way because you said she looked refreshed. So the second
Yes.
visit, the second hearing. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, and I also mentioned this in my video and my live that I made yesterday and the day before. She was so different. Her face, her refreshness, her hygiene looked better. Everything. It was crazy. She did not look good in her in court. Especially the first hearing. She didn't look good. You know what I mean? That visit, I seen her that close. She looked, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
really, really good. She looked awake. She looked good. She looked ready. Like, you know, she looked not like she just unalived her child. You know what I mean? She looked like a normal
Mm-hmm.
person that is okay with everything going on. Like crazy.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
it's
last hearing, that was huge. When I saw your video, that was huge. That's what stood out to me, is that when we saw her for the second hearing, I mean, it was just she just looked like she was beat. And I
yep.
described it as well too that she looked like she was about to confess right on the spot. And so
Yes,
when your
yes,
video
yes,
came out, and so when your video came out, and then she looked refreshed, and you're describing that stood out big time.
yep. Yep. I'm telling you, she was so eager for this visit. She had no idea that it was somebody she didn't know. I'm telling you, she assumed someone else was going to visit her. Who that person is, I don't know. Maybe she didn't even know and think it was anybody, maybe like a specific person, but she was maybe like, "Oh my gosh, I have a visit. Who could it be? Is it my mom? Is it my sister? Is it my
Mm,
brother? Is it this person?" You know what I mean? She had no
mhm,
clue it was about to be a stranger. I mean, some people were even telling me on my platform, maybe you were her first visit, you know, because she just seemed so damn
mm,
eager.
that actually that makes sense, right? Her first visit,
Yeah.
right? That makes sense. I mean, we didn't see any family members too that we know of at the hearings, both hearings. So
No.
that's interesting. That's a good take. Is that you might have been her first visit, other than obviously her lawyers and things like that.
Of
But
course.
wow,
And
that's
the guy, there was
interesting.
somebody that went to
Wow.
go interview here, I think I don't know, a couple weeks ago, someone interviewed her in the jail. But other than that, I mean, it's possible that no one's went to visit her. Like, nobody, you know what I mean? A lot of people were telling me on my platform, like, dang, Davina, I wouldn't have the guts, I wouldn't have the balls to go and do that. Like, a lot of people say they would want to, but they wouldn't be able to really have the guts to actually do it. So, I might have been maybe the first person to do that, maybe the first person, period. Maybe her family even hasn't
Hmm.
visited her. I don't know. But the eagerness, like I said, I seen in her, really ready to go to this visit, that is what stood out to me, and I was like, "Whoa." And people, I'm sure you've seen too on my video and stuff, like, people are like, some people, not all, some people are like, "There's no way you could have, you're lying. Like, you made this up. There's no way."
Hmm.
People are saying that, now I'm guess now we can jump into this part of it. People are saying that I made this up, that there's no way that the inmates have to put you on a visiting list, and the inmates have to approve your visit prior, which I've been in county jail. It's not true. When I had visits personally, and this was San Bernardino County, apparently Riverside County is the same, in this way anyway, I didn't know I had a visit until the very moment. They would call me in my cell in the intercom and say, "Hey, Davina, get dressed and come out. You have a visit." And I'd be like, "I wonder who's here." I didn't know I had a visit. I didn't know anyone was going to visit me. and I wouldn't even know nothing until I got to that room that was visiting room. That was the visiting room. Then I would see so and so there, and I'd be like, "Oh, hi! I didn't know you're gonna come visit me today." So no, that is for prison. Prison, you need a visiting form. Prison, they have to accept you. County jail, no. So I did want to, definitely say that, and also I'm not that type of person, Mark, to lie about stuff like that, especially on the kind of situation that we're all going through in this world with baby Emmanuel. This is a baby here. He's not here
Mm-hmm.
anymore with us. And there's no way I'm not one of those persons that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this rumor up and lie about it so I can get views and clout and whatnot. No, absolutely not. And I brought this up too in my live yesterday. If I was gonna make a rumor and lie about something in this situation about visiting Rebecca, don't you think I would have lied about something that everyone wanted? Because everyone wanted her to sit with me and do an interview. Everybody wanted me to come back to my live, to my TikTok and say, "Oh my gosh, she visited with me." So don't you think I would have lied about that and say, "Yeah, Rebecca actually sat with me and we talked and we said this, this, and this." If I was gonna make something up, I'm sure it would have been that, something that everyone wanted to hear, you know? But that's just not me. So no, it isn't true. I mean, it is true. It's not true. It's true. I wouldn't lie about that. I don't do stuff like that. I don't make rumors up like that. So the negativity and the black backlash and then all that drama, I'm ignoring it. I'm literally not giving it the time or day because people are losing focus. People are being distracted from the big picture here, which is baby Emmanuel. And I don't want to lose the focus. So I'm not going to let it affect me or my platform anymore. My platform, my room, my lives, my chat is going to be positivity and positivity only. No negative, no none of that. No distractions anymore. I said yesterday and today, no more. No more of it. This is specifically for baby Emmanuel to get justice for him, to follow the case, to report on it, to update all my followers, all my people that live in different state and whatnot. And that's it. And I'm not gonna stop reporting on it and following it and keeping up on it, going to the memorial. One time there was a rain storm, like a little thunder rainstorm, and it messed up the whole memorial. Well, a lot of us went out and cleaned it up. You know? I didn't go live. I didn't go
Mm-hmm.
live when I did that. I didn't go live. I didn't make a video. I simply went and did it out of the kindness of my heart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that is why I saw the video and I saw, the backlash and the negativity, people saying that I call bullshit this and that. I'm like, no, I've met her. She wouldn't do that. She just would
Mm-mm.
not do that. And that's another
No.
reason I wanted you to come on too, because to share your side of the story, because I know you're not gonna do that, because I see it is definitely number one about justice for baby Manuelito, and for somebody it's just it didn't register with me that that's you would do something like that. It just would not. It just didn't register. So
Oh.
uh, I was like, no, I interviewed her. That was my first interview, and it just didn't make sense. What I mean, it did. I get it why people would say that, but it just was like, no, let me get her on. Let her
Yeah.
tell her side of the story. I know she wouldn't do something like that. It's not. It's just I don't know. Just didn't register with me that that's what it
Heck
would be.
no. Heck no,
Mm-hmm.
man. I mean, there is
Mm-hmm.
some people. There is, don't get me wrong. There's some people that make up some horrific things. I don't know if you heard. I know you're not on TikTok a lot, but there's there's a newest rumor going around. It's not going around anymore. It's cleared up. Everything's cleared up. But supposedly 3 nights ago, there was a young lady that went to go visit baby Emmanuel's memorial, and she went to go bring some gifts to it, and one of the crazy neighbors that got into on the tira, a while back, pointed a pew pew at her and her sister. And this was like at 10 o'clock at night when she went to go visit this memorial. And supposedly she brought it to everyone's attention. Ashley, the girl with the red in her hair that you were with as well, at the court date, she made a big old video on it. And she was even on live with the girl that said it happened too. So Ashley, the very next day, which was 2 days ago, made this whole video and like, hey, baby Emmanuel's memorial is not safe anymore. Nobody can bring their kids there. It's not safe. There's a neighbor with a pew pew, yada yada yada. Lo and behold, it wasn't true. That girl is still running with the story, of course, but there's a lot of stuff that didn't add up. She deleted her account, then she was deleting comments, just weird stuff that didn't add up. She didn't call and make a police report. It was just a lot of stuff. There was another girl that called Riverside County I forgot what county that Cabazon's in, but she called that sheriff department and she called on a video to show proof of. And she said, hey, is there any reports made on, the Haro house that someone, called a report, a pew pew pointed at them, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, no. The deputy was like, there's no reports for that. So pretty much she made that up. And I just think that's crazy that you make something like that up.
That's on TikTok, you're
Oh,
saying?
yeah. Yes. Man,
Wow.
you can go to TikTok right now, type in the search bar, something to that sort, and you'll find lots of videos on it.
Jeez. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like there's so much like muddying of the water of the case, and I see that in every single case. And so it's good that, we can have this type of conversation and kind of dispel a lot of the rumors, a lot of the just nonsense and things like that, and keep the focus on baby Emmanuelito, which I see with the TikTokers that are there. Again, everybody there was real nice to me. Everybody was real nice to each other, and I see that. I feel the energy. I feel the love. I feel the support from the community. Same with the memorial. I mean, the support and love that baby Manolito has been getting is phenomenal, phenomenal.
I agree.
And
I agree.
hmm hmm
You know what, Mark? I broke down crying to my husband the other day because I think it was the day of, yeah, it was Tuesday night, the day I went to the visit, and I started getting all that backlash on my video about it because I didn't expect that. I did not expect to get all this negativity. I mean, I think I have 1,000 comments on on my video right now of negativity. So I did not expect it at all, and it was draining. I'm not a gossip drama person. I don't like that. I have a life. I have kids. I'm too busy for that. I'm too old and busy for that. I'm 31. I have a life. I
hmm
don't do that drama stuff no more. So it was very draining for me, and at first, when I started getting it in and my activity was blowing up, my phone notifications were blowing up, and I was trying to keep up with every negative comment. I was trying to comment back, and I was, like, constantly on my phone, like, and my husband's like, "Babe, stop. Stop. Like, stop. You're doing too much now. Don't give no mind to these people. Like, it's okay. Like, just leave it alone." And I was like, okay. I was crying. The reason why I was crying, it wasn't, of course, like, it was draining and stuff, but it wasn't so much like, oh my gosh, my feelings are so hurt. These people said this and this to me. It wasn't so much as this. It was my feelings are so hurt for this poor baby. People are not focusing on this situation with him. People are making it about me. People are making it about them. Stop it. Stop making it about me. This is not about me. You're saying I want clout, but you're giving it to me. Stop it. Let's talk about baby Emmanuel and getting justice for him and keeping up on the case, and let's hope that these motherfuckers, go get, when we get the justice that baby needs. You know, why are we making this about me and this drama and this negativity? Like, come on. Like that's why I was crying to him, was because this is so sad. Like these hateful people and these mean negative bully people, like you guys are saying I don't care about this baby. You guys are showing that you don't pay no mind to it because you're just focusing on me and negativity.
Mm. Yeah, and that can't be farther from the truth, that everybody that's there for justice for baby mom and Elito do care and do have are going into it with their heart. They're leading with their heart. That's the first thing that I see. In contrast with Jake's energy. I feel that I'm a big believer of energy, and you can see the difference between his energy and the people that are there for justice, you know. And yeah, that's interesting that you say that. And I'm glad that you're, are taking a step back from all that negativity and the, backlash and things like that. And it's kind of just, like you were saying, people would lose track of that. And I'm glad that you're going on a positive note. You're going on, staying on the track, on course, on par with justice, because we all do want to see that. We all want to see justice. We don't want to see a repeat of what happened to Promise. We
Oh
don't
my
want a
gosh.
repeat of that.
No,
Hmm.
no, absolutely.
Hmm.
I think a lot of us want the same outcome, and that's the thing. And also, I want to clarify something because I guess I didn't clarify it in the beginning, and a lot of people were very confused and misunderstanding. And like the girl I told you that I had got into confrontation with on my TikTok and that we cleared up things with, this is actually a reason why we did. I am not supportive of Rebecca. I don't agree with her. I didn't go visit her to say, "Hey, I want to be your bestie," and that's what some people did
Hmm.
misunderstand. I went there to really do an interview, okay? Now, I didn't want to make it an interview to her, you know? I wanted to do an interview, of course, but more to her is get her trust. Is say, "Hey, I understand a little bit what you're going through. I lost my children as well, to the system in the past. I used to be on rugs,
Hmm.
I am a changed person today, but hey, I know you must be feeling alone. You must be going through some things right now." More as if get her to trust me. And there's a lot of people saying that they wouldn't be able to do what I'm able to do. A lot of people would get in front of her face and say, "I wanna cut your head off, I want to take you down. I can't believe," and a lot of people want to be able to keep their composure. However, I am one of those people that I'm able to do that. I'm able to be calm. I'm able to have a conversation with someone like that. That's just, it's not for everybody. Some people are able to do it. Some
Hmm.
people aren't.
That's good that you're able to on this channel to say that too. And yeah, that's definitely, I mean, I know that, I know I know that for sure. And so that's good that people are hearing it from you, straight from you, because if I say it, it's like secondhand, and
Right.
it's like that. But coming from you, it definitely is very appreciated. And yeah, I mean, just the whole thing of, like you were saying, people do lose track of it, people get caught up in it and stuff like that. So that is interesting. um
Absolutely.
so we're,
Absolutely.
hmm but we're gonna wrap this up. We're at the hour and a half mark, and we'll post your link. I'll have one of my mods drop your link so they can follow you, so they can follow your coverage, and so we could get justice for baby Manuelito, number one,
Dude,
first and foremost. Hmm.
I agree 100%. I agree. Yes. I appreciate you having me. Thank you for having me. And anytime, I'm always available. You know that. I'm going to see you next court date, right?
I'm gonna try to go. Are you? Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna ask you. Are you gonna go to the next hearing?
Yes. Yes.
Are you? I was gonna ask you too. Are you gonna try to make it to both, or just one, or one or
I'm
the
going to both.
other?
I'm going to both. I know there's a lot of people saying they're not going on the 16th, but I'm going to I'm going to both.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah, they were saying like the 16 is just like housekeeping type of thing and going over some things, but you never know. You never know what
You'll
type of
never know.
information they bring out. And not only that, but like us, the hardcore supporters, for Baby Manolita, we want to be there.
Yes,
Um, and
absolutely.
so I'm gonna definitely try to make it the 16th and the 17th. The 17th is gonna be, the first preliminary hearing. That's gonna be huge,
Oh my
and I
gosh. Yes.
think a lot of people are gonna be there. I think a lot of people are gonna be there for that one. We dropped your link. Thank you, Native Girl. Thank you, everybody. We dropped your link there. Make sure you follow Davina for coverage on the Baby Manuelito case. She's there. She's been there since day one, day two. She went to go visit. Rebecca, and now she's writing a letter, and we'll keep it close. We'll keep it monitoring and see if there's any updates. And again, thank you, chat, for being respectful, being cool, being chill, and letting her, Davina, tell her side. You know, letting her speak her truth and her experiences. We all experience things differently. Not everybody's experiencing the same thing the same time. No, this is her experience. This is her life. This is her perspective and her opinions. And we're all entitled to that. Okay. And again, chat was real cool, real chill. Thank you so much. And Davina, thank you so
Absolutely.
much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your perspective, your opinions. I really respect that. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll take you up on that offer. If anything comes up, let me know. I'll see if I can give you,
Absolutely.
my information on TikTok, or if you want to, if you're comfortable just on TikTok, that's fine too. Um, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Davina. Thank you so much for what you do. I see it. You do care. You want justice. We all want justice, and I see that from you. And I'm glad you came on to share your side of the story. Thank you so much for joining us today. Is
Of
there
course.
any final thoughts or anything you'd like to um, say or anything before we take off for the day?
No, just that I want to say thank you as well. This platform is definitely a lot different vibe than
Mm,
the TikTok. Um, Definitely, I've seen when I didn't know I could see the chat until I did, but and like I think it was like midway when I was finally able to see the chat, and I haven't seen no negativity. So I really do appreciate that a lot, both the chat and you, Mark. So thank you so much.
no problem. Thank you again, everybody. Make sure you check her out. Follow her for coverage. She's on the ground on the courthouse. And yeah, just check her out. Thank you,
Yes,
Davina, so
appreciate it.
much. You have a good night. And yeah, we'll talk soon. We'll keep in contact. And hopefully we'll see each other on the 16th and on the 17th.
We most definitely will. I'll be making a video tomorrow about the letter that I'm going to be sending out to Rebecca. I'm going to be reading it. I'm gonna record myself to read the letter and everything, and then I'm gonna send it out. So, you guys can look at update on that tomorrow as well.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, you heard it, guys. You heard it here first. She's going to, try to share that with us or on her platform on TikTok. So check her out. All right, Davina,
Yeah.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. You have a good night. Appreciate you.
You
Bye.
too.
All right. We got that done. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's going to wrap it up. I need to get some water. I need to get some food. Thank you, everybody, for being cool. Thank you for Mons for keeping everything chill. I'm going to be going live again in a little bit, a 9/11, if you want to share your stories. And yeah, pretty much that was it. Thank you. Good night, everybody.